Hi everyone, this is Brendan from LemLedger. If you work with clients remotely, transparency is everything. Clients don't just want their hours tracked, they want clarity on what those hours actually represent. So in this video, I'm going to show you the best Hubstaff setup to maximize client transparency. We're going to do this by using tags, projects, and reporting. So let's start with the foundation. Inside Hubstaff, we'll go to projects and we'll create a new project by adding it. For example, new project. Now this project will create under client. We'll select client. And save. Now this structure is important because it separates each client clearly and ensures all tracking data stays organized. Always think in this hierarchy: client, project, tasks. Once this is set up, everything else becomes much easier to manage and report. Next, we'll look at configuring billing. We'll go into edit budget, and here is where you can define your billable rules. You can mark the project as billable so that all track time counts towards invoices. But you can also create non-billable categories. For example, internal meetings, training time, or even strategy discussions should not be included. This prevents confusion later when clients review reports. It also ensures your team tracks time honestly without inflating your billable hours. You could also add tags to your deliverables. So tags are extremely powerful for client transparency because they show exactly what type of work was done. In HubSpot, you can create all sorts of tags such as SEO audit, outreach, website design, content writing, client information, whatever you like. Therefore, when tracking time, team members simply select the relevant tag. This helps clients later understand not just how long your work took, but what category of work it actually belonged to. Next, we can go look at our reporting. So once we've gone into reports and selected time and activity, you can actually set filters for the specific client and project. You can schedule or generate weekly reports, and these reports would typically include information like the total hours worked, activity levels, screenshots, task descriptions, even tag breakdowns. You can export them as a PDF, a CSV file, or into your QuickBooks. That's quite easy and nice for sharing with clients. What this does is creates a consistent and transparency routine. Right. So a typical daily workflow would look like team members start their timer at the beginning of the task. They select the project, they would select the to do and start the timer. They can also add short notes describing what they are working on and actually stop the timer when the task is completed. At the end of the day, your managers quickly review the activity levels and the notes. This routine ensures proof is automatically collected without manual reporting. Now, there's one key limitation. Hubstaff is excellent at showing raw tracking data, but it does not automatically connect that data into a clear story. Clients can see things like time tracked, screenshots, tags, and activity levels, but they still often ask what progress actually happened and what outcomes were achieved. So the storytelling still requires extra manual communication. For context, this is how we do this in LemLedger, which is the tool we use ourselves. Instead of only organizing time data, LemLedger automatically structures proofs into a timeline. It actually connects the tracked work, deliverables, progress updates, and client-ready explanations. This makes it much easier for clients to understand the impact of their work without needing extra follow-ups. Hubstaff is a powerful tool when set up correctly for transparency. But if your goal is to not just show activity, but clearly demonstrate progress and results, that is where LemLedger adds another layer. If you want to see this approach in full, LemLedger's link below.